I guarantee you that if you learn from these mistakes I made when I was starting out, you will surpass 90% of the people who are trying to lose weight. Now, some of these things have been said so many times that people don't pay attention to it anymore. So, when I bring it up, your brain will say something like, "Oh yeah, I know, dude." And then you'll stop listening, because you're so used to hearing it that you just turn your brain off automatically. But please keep your brain on and actually absorb this information I'm about to tell you. Because it might seem like it's not that big of a deal, but if you just keep thinking you already know and switching off the instant you hear words like calorie deficit, you will continue to struggle with your weight loss because you're not really open to learning something new. If you pay attention and stay open-minded, you just might discover that one missing piece to your puzzle. So anyway, I started my weight loss journey over 10 years ago, but I'm not going to lie. When I was first starting out, I used to do and think a lot of dumb stuff. Some of these things are still blowing my mind to this day. So here are the 5 things I wish I knew when I was starting out. Number 1, stop being a fad diet flip-flopper. First thing I want to talk about is a trap that a lot of people fall into, and it's not just beginners. Some people keep doing this even after years of trying to lose weight. This thing is what I call being the fad diet flip-flopper. It's one of the worst things that can happen to you. It's understandable that beginners fall into this trap, but as I said, it's not just beginners. There are tons of people who keep on looking for the most trendy diet, but that is just so wrong on so many levels. If you want to know my honest opinion, most fad diets don't even mean anything. They just make people jump from one diet to another every single week. So it just becomes like, oh, this is cool. I want to try keto, but I also want to try paleo, but also intermittent fasting. And the end result is just a very frustrated person with no results. At the beginning of my weight loss journey, I unfortunately also got caught in this trap. For example, one month I'd be all about the cabbage soup diet because a friend swore it worked wonders. The next, I'd switch to a detox cleanse I saw advertised online. I was constantly changing plans, hoping the next one would be the magic fix. Imagine spending a week eating nothing but grapefruits, then switching to a high-protein diet the next, and then trying a no-carb diet after that. Your body doesn't have time to adjust, and you're likely to feel deprived, which can lead to binge eating. Think of it like trying to learn a new language. If you spend one week learning Spanish, the next week Mandarin, and the following week Russian, you'll end up not being able to speak any language fluently. You need consistency to make progress. So stop chasing fad diets. What you need to focus on instead is a balanced, sustainable eating plan. This is personally one of my biggest regrets, because if you keep on flip-flopping between these fad diets, you will never get anywhere because you are just chasing your own tail. Learn about proper nutrition and start implementing sustainable habits. Number 2, not all calories are the same. The next thing I wish I knew when I was starting out is that not all calories are the same. When I said I used to do a lot of dumb stuff, I was referring to this. Back then, I thought that a calorie was always just a calorie and that there was no difference at all. But I was extremely wrong, and it took me some time before I actually learned more about this topic. You won't believe me when I say this, but I seriously thought there was no difference whatsoever. Sometimes, when I was feeling lazy and didn't want to prepare a meal for myself, I would just grab a couple of candy bars, look at the nutrition label, and say, oh wow, if I stay under my calorie limit, I can just eat junk food and still lose weight. And proceed to eat a ton of junk food, thinking I was super smart for figuring out that you can eat whatever you want as long as you count calories. But that is sadly not how it works. All it did was make me feel terrible and didn't help with weight loss at all. Let's say you have a daily calorie limit of 1,800 calories. You could technically eat 6 slices of pizza to meet that limit, but you'd likely feel sluggish, hungry soon after, and miss out on essential nutrients. On the other hand, filling those 1,800 calories with lean proteins, whole grains, and veggies keeps you satisfied and nourished. Think of your body like a car engine. You can fill it with cheap, low-quality fuel, and it might run for a while, but eventually it will clog up and perform poorly. High-quality fuel keeps it running smoothly and efficiently. Similarly, nutrient-dense foods provide better fuel for your body. So instead of trying to get your calories from junk food or any other terrible foods, focus on high-quality, nutrient-dense foods like vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, whole grains, and healthy fats. These are the foods that your body will be able to fully utilize to support your weight loss, which is not the case for foods like the aforementioned candy bars, or even things like sugary drinks, processed snacks, and sweets. Even though the nutrition label of the product might say that it has a certain amount of calories, that doesn't necessarily mean that your body will respond the same way as it would to the same amount of calories from whole foods. Number 3, track your food intake. Well, even though I used to think that I could just eat junk food and lose weight as long as I counted calories, I'm actually kind of surprised that I understood the concept of a calorie deficit pretty early on, and that's the next thing I want to talk about. Even though I understood that I needed to be in a calorie deficit in order to lose weight, I never thought about actually tracking my food intake. So even though I knew I had to eat less, I would often just forget what I ate last time, and this for sure slowed me down a lot. But hey, at least I almost got it right. Imagine you had a healthy breakfast and lunch, but didn't realize that your afternoon snacks and dinner portions were putting you over your calorie limit. Without tracking, it's easy to overlook these extra calories. Think of it like managing your finances. If you don't keep track of your expenses, you might overspend without realizing it and wonder why your bank account is empty. Similarly, if you don't track your food, you might overeat without noticing. So don't repeat the same mistakes and start writing down all the important stuff: what you eat, how much you eat, all of it. Use an app on your phone or just keep a food journal and do it that way. The effort you have to put into it is so small, while the benefits you get from doing it are insanely big. It really doesn't get any easier than this. It's an absolute must if you want to lose weight effectively. Do you think that all the people you see struggling with their weight year after year are tracking their food intake? Of course they don't. That's why they still face the same challenges. Weight loss is not a game of chance. You can't just eat random stuff and expect to lose weight. Number 4, exercise alone isn't enough. Focus on diet too. The next thing I wish I knew when I was starting out is that exercise alone isn't enough. You have to focus on diet as well. I used to do what I think a lot of you are doing nowadays, which means that you go to the gym or go for a run, and then think you can eat whatever you want because you earned it, which means zero progress and a lot of frustration. I remember days when I'd burn 500 calories during a workout and then reward myself with a big burger and fries, totaling over 1,000 calories. I thought I deserved it for working out so hard, but I was actually consuming more than I burned. It's like trying to empty a bathtub with a spoon while the faucet is still running. No matter how fast you scoop out the water, the tub keeps filling up because you haven't turned off the sauce. Now, you might be thinking, how is that relevant to weight loss? Well, my friend, this is very relevant. If you are exercising but not watching your diet, you will run into a lot of troubles in your weight loss journey that are caused by your poor nutrition choices. When you consume more calories than you burn, then guess what's going to happen? You won't lose weight because you're cancelling out all your hard work with your eating habits, and that's not even taking into account how demotivating it is when you work out hard but don't see any results. You don't even have to follow a super strict diet if you fear it so much. You just need to start making smarter food choices. Include more vegetables, cut down on sugary drinks, watch your portion sizes. Literally, do anything that will improve your nutrition. Number 5, don't underestimate sleep and stress management. The next thing I wish I knew when I was starting out is also connected to overall health, and that is underestimating how important sleep and stress management actually are. This is one of those things that has been said so many times that people don't pay attention to it anymore. I'm pretty sure that when I mentioned sleep, you just said to yourself, "Oh yeah, I know, dude," and then you were about to tune out. Please turn your brain back on, because it might seem like it's not that big of a deal if you just keep on staying up late, stressing over things, instead of getting enough sleep and relaxing. But it is. In all honesty, if you sleep like 4 to 5 hours every day and are constantly stressed out, don't even bother trying to lose weight because it really doesn't make sense. There were times when I'd pull all-nighters for work or school, running on caffeine and adrenaline. The lack of sleep made me crave high-sugar, high-fat foods for quick energy, leading to poor eating choices and weight gain. Think of your body as a smartphone. If you don't charge it fully, it won't last the entire day and might shut down when you need it most. Sleep is how you recharge your body and mind. Your body needs rest to recover and regulate hormones that are crucial for weight loss. If you don't sleep, you don't lose weight, or at least not as much as you could have. It's really that simple. In this day and age, it seems that people would rather try extreme measures rather than use the natural benefits of sleep and stress management, which is absolutely crazy to me. So, stop clowning around with trying to find shortcuts when you don't even give your body enough rest. It is during your sleep where all the magic of your day's hard work happens. I guarantee you that if you learn from these mistakes I made when I was starting out, you will surpass 90% of the people who are trying to lose weight, because the solution to everything was always in the basics. And remember, progression is the path to perfection. Now get out there and be your own hero.